One of the things I like about our American culture is that it tells me I should focus on me. It tells me that I should be my top priority. It tells me that I should be able to have the things I want. It tells me I deserve them. I know that's not the best attitude to have, but all those commercials on the TV keep telling me I should have whatever I want. I see on social media all these people taking their fabulous vacations over and over again, all throughout my day. There's this almost constant string of messages telling me that life is all about me. Is that what God expects? Is that what the Bible instructs? Let's pause and think about this for a couple of minutes. Here's what the Bible says. Think of others more highly than yourself. Philippians 2, verse 3. Jesus said he didn't come to be served, but to serve. Matthew 20, verse 28. Jesus said the greatest among you will be a servant. Matthew 23, verse 11. So, this individualistic, me-first attitude within our culture is clearly counter to what the Bible teaches. It is clearly not the attitude that we as Christians are to display to each other and to the world. So each one of us, should take a hard look in the mirror and examine how well we've absorbed these clear biblical instructions into our lives and ways of thinking versus how the world would teach us to think. Now comes the part that gets more uncomfortable. It's all well and good when we talk generically or academically about these things. But when we start giving real examples, we tend to get defensive and make excuses. But unless we get personal about it and take a candid look in the mirror, we're very likely to be guilty of being hearers of the word only and not doers, deceiving ourselves, as it says in James 1:22. So let's throw out a couple of examples where this American individualist attitude might be creeping into our churches. Too many youth programs are almost entirely focused on having a good time at church. It starts when they're young by having a separate children's worship event. Then it carries on into the teenage years with all kinds of fun things to do in the youth group. Just to be clear, this approach isn't working very well. About 85% of kids raised going to church regularly leave the church within a year of graduating from high school. When you make going to church fun for 18 years, what do we think is going to happen when we suddenly flip the switch and tell them it's time to serve? This outcome is sadly predictable. A lot of senior citizens groups within our churches spend a lot of time getting together for fellowship events. Fellowship is a good sounding church concept. But what do these fellowship events really consist of? Well, they largely consist of doing things they enjoy doing. Basically, serving themselves. Oftentimes using church funds to do it. And how many people selected church based on whether they liked the song service? I have known a lot of people over the years that make this their top priority on what church to go to. In other words, I'm not going to serve others. I'm going there because I enjoy it. My top priority is me, what I like. Look, I like what I like as much as the next guy, but that's not the example that Jesus set for us. If we're going to call ourselves Christians, shouldn't we follow Jesus' example of serving others rather than ourselves? And are our churches really promoting that? Or have they adopted the culture of marketing to people's pleasures, their personal preferences, their enjoyment, their comforts? How exactly do we expect to make servants and disciples when our foundational approach to attracting people is giving them what they want. So, is American individualism a sin in your life? You'll obviously have to answer that for yourself. But I'm at least self-aware enough to know that it has been a sin in my life and too often still is. The Bible states clearly in 1 John 2, do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Look, the culture around us affects us. It impacts how we think and what we value in life. We have to constantly be on guard for that. This topic is a real challenge for me. I'm confident I'm not the only person in that category. So I share these thoughts today with you as much to remind myself to be on guard as I do for you. And hopefully, in some way, it's helpful. Thanks for listening. God bless you on your journey.